Good evening, students. Let's start a journey with me. Today, we are going to talk about something very important in English grammar, and that is tense. Because without tense, we can't even imagine a single sentence in English language. Tenses are the integral part of English language or the integral part of the grammar of any language. As you know, in Marathi language, there are three tenses. As usual, we have three tenses in English grammar. They are present tense, past tense, and future tense. So, present tense is known as at a time, past tense is known as before of time, and future tense is known as after of time. As usual, we say no, day is divided into three different times, morning, afternoon, evening. Night also divided into three times, like night, midnight, and dawn, that is early morning period. As usual, our life is also divided into three parts, like birth, living, and finally death. But someone asks you the question, what is meant by tense? So what you will say? You will say kal or card in Marathi. So that will be the translation of tense, no? So if we want a general definition of tense, we can say tense is the identification of time. Yes, as we said, there are three tenses in English language. Each tense has four subkinds. Present tense has four subkinds, past tense has four subkinds, and future tense has four subkinds. In present tense, we have simple present tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense, present perfect continuous tense. In past tense, we have simple past tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, and past perfect continuous tense. In future tense, we have simple future tense, future continuous tense, future perfect tense, and future perfect continuous tense. So now let's talk on simple present tense today. Simple present tense is used to describe actions that are regular, are habitual, or generally true. It's a basic and essential part of the speaking and the writing in English. Okay, so the question is, what is simple present tense? Simple present tense describes the action that happened regularly. When we talk about the habit of subject, when we talk about the daily routine of the subject, when we talk about the duties or the responsibilities of the subject, then usually we use simple present tense. So simple present tense describes actions that happen regularly or the facts that are always true. For example, if you say, I eat breakfast every morning, you are using simple present tense because eating breakfast is a regular activity for you. And how will you form the simple present tense? There is a simple formula or the simple sentence construction of simple present tense, that is subject V1 plus object, means subject, then first form of the verb, and then object. Okay, so the first form of the verb is also known as the base form of the verb. For example, the sentence like I go to college. Here, go is the base form of the verb or the first form of the verb. Okay, so to form the simple present tense, we use the base form of the verb for most subjects like I, you, we, they. For example, we play football, or I play football, you play football, or they play football. However, when we talk about he, she, or it, we add suffix s or suffix es to the base form of the verb. For example, he plays football or she plays football. Okay, so when we add s, it becomes plural. When we remove s, it becomes singular. So this is about subject. Now what about verb? When we add s form to the main verb, then it becomes singular. Okay, and when we remove s form from the verb, then it becomes plural. Suppose I say plays. So plays is a singular verb, and when we say play, it becomes plural. So when we say she plays football, so here plays is in a singular form. So there should be a correct coordination between subject and verbs. That is what known as subject verb agreement. Look at some more examples like I read a book every day. Here read is the simple present tense describing a habitual action. Next example, she drinks tea in the morning. So notice here we add s suffix to drink. We say she drinks. That s added to drink because we are talking about she. Okay, so singular subject carries singular verbs. She drinks. Okay, that is correct. When we say she drink, that will be wrong. They go to school by bus. Here, go is used with they without any additional ending. Okay, so there is no need of any suffix. So if we say they goes, it will be an incorrect sentence. They go. Why? They are the plural subject. So plural subject carries plural verb. Okay, so they is plural and go is plural. If we want to say goes, then we have to add he or she instead of they. Okay, so he goes to school by bus or she goes to school by bus, that is correct, but they goes to school by bus, that is incorrect. Okay, because they is plural subject, so plural subject always carry plural verb and singular subject always carry singular verb. Okay, there are some questions and negatives that we can use in simple present tense. To ask the question in simple present tense, we use do or does. Okay, do you like sandwich, or does he like sandwich? Those sentences are always using according to their subject. Okay, for negative sentence we use don't or do not or doesn't or does not. Okay, for example, I do not like sandwich, or she doesn't like sandwich. These are the correct sentence in a negative form. There are some tips, like you can use simple present tense to talk about daily routine. For example, I brush my teeth every day. We can use it to describe the general truth, like sun rises in the east or the sun sets in the west, or the earth revolves around the sun. These are some general truths. We can also use it for the facts or the habits. We have some different sentences or the imaginary sentences on simple present tense. For daily routine, we can say the sentence like every morning the sun paints the sky with the color of orange and pink. For general truth, we can say the moon glows softly at night, casting a gentle light over the sleeping world. For habits, we can say the river flows endlessly towards the ocean, carrying the stories from the distant mountains and the forest. So, these are some sentences which we can use in simple present tense. Here, please remember 3 to 4 important things about simple present tense, that when we use simple present tense, when we have to talk about the daily routine of the subject, or when we talk about the general truths, or we have to talk about the habits of the subject or some facts or the descriptive actions. Okay, so these are some important points about simple present tense. Look at some most interesting sentences in simple present tense. I have some sentences in Marathi that we can translate in English. For example, sentence number 1. माझं मन तुझ्या मनाचा शोध घेतं. My mind searches for your mind. Sentence number 2. जीवन सत्य आहे. In English, life is true. Next, आत्मा अनंत आहे. The soul is eternal. निसर्ग सुंदर आहे. Nature is beautiful. आजचं वातावरण आल्हादक आहे. The atmosphere today is delightful. मी तुझाच विचार करते. आय थिंक ओनली ऑफ यू. मी माझ्या स्वप्नांवर प्रेम करते. आय लव्ह माय ड्रीम्स. शिक्षण मानवाला स्वतःची ओळख करून घ्यायला शिकवते. एज्युकेशन टीचेस अ पर्सन टू नो देमसेल्व्स. ग्रीष्मात चाफा फुलतो. द जॅस्मिन ब्लूम्स इन समर. सुखांना पंख नसतात. हॅपीनेस हॅज नो विंग्स. मी स्वतःला ओळखतो. आय नो माय सेल्फ. मी विश्वाचा नागरिक आहे. आय ॲम अ सिटिझन ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. स्वातंत्र्य, समता, बंधुता ही भारतीय राज्यघटनेतील मूलभूत तत्त्वे आहेत. फ्रीडम, इक्वॅलिटी अँड फ्रॅटर्निटी आर फंडामेंटल प्रिन्सिपल्स ऑफ द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. मासा पाण्यात पोहतो. द फिश स्विम्स इन द वॉटर. चिमणी पिलांना दाणे भरविते. द स्पॅरो फीड्स इट्स चिक्स सीड्स. दत्तू म्हणजे पाण्यावर राज्य करणारं खणखणीत नाणं. दत्तू इज अ जिंगलिंग कॉइन दॅट rules over the water. So these are some sentences in a simple present tense. You can also create or make your own sentences in Marathi and try to translate them in English. So this is about simple present tense. It is used for actions that happen regularly and facts that are always true. Remember, the base form of the verb is used with most subjects and we add s or es for he, she, it. With questions and negatives, we use do and does. That's it for our lesson on simple present tense. Keep practicing by making your own sentences, and soon it will feel natural to use. Thank you.